Need everyone to close their eyes and let's go back in time a little bit. We need to go back to the funky year of 1983. TTRPGs were just in their infancy and only a few games were really on the market. But the OG BRP system in 1981 was ready to go and caught the eye of a certain Niall C. Shapra who, with a bit of gusto, wrote a game called Other Sons. Arguably one of the first games to use a SRD, Other Sons is one of those forgotten oddities in the era for a few reasons, one of which is quite furry. As Other Sons and Mr. Shapiro himself were some of the founding members of the BBS era of online furries. Other Sons has you take the role of brave soldiers, heroes, and citizens of the furry space NATO after humanity tried and failed to conquer the stars, but were simply outnumbered by the hordes of furry fucking monsters with mind powers. At its core, Other Sons may appear pretty consistent with the BRP of today. You have a set of attributes and your skills. All of these will be a roll under percentile system, while your attributes will be a little bit different most of the time. Interestingly enough, you do have attributes such as length and mass in this game, but have no fear, things are going to get weird, because now we have the plentiful derived attributes, which will give you a variety of bonuses, penalties, and other features. Now, let's take our accuracy bonus, for example. It is 2 times intelligence plus dexterity plus willpower minus 52, while attack for melee weapons is strength plus 2 times intelligence plus dexterity plus willpower minus 63. There are many derived attributes which all have to be calculated and accounted for, as everything is going to be a percentile roll under. Even things such as combat will be rolling under your accuracy or attack with a particular weapon, only for the enemy or character having to make a dodge check. Dodging itself is well, you guessed it, 2 times intelligence plus dexterity plus willpower minus build minus 42 to determine if you're successful. And if you are, you evade most things. No dodging laser guns, Mr. Skywalker. But have no fear, you can choose between basic or advanced combat, which I'm just going to tell you right the fuck now, use basic. Basic combat is actually pretty simple, as you can see here. However, advanced combat has a second-by-second action point system, and of course, special hit locations for every single one of the alien species. However, what's our skills looking like? Well, Other Sons employ something akin to a job system, which is to say you're going to choose your career and get a few skills in that particular field. For example, let's say you're a permanent colonist. You'll have 35 plus intelligence plus your knowledge bonus as your primary subfield. Now, for the sake of ease, we'll say we have a total of 50, but let's say our daring hero is an ecologist as her primary. This will be 50, but everything else, from armor, bargaining, toxicology, and even vehicular operation, will be set at half the value at 25. However, her laser pistol and 1 rifle skill will be at 80, which is 50 plus 30. There are quite a few of these, most dealing with military to be frank, but playing Space Law and Order is possible with literal space law and playing a space cop. Skills are just as insane as you would think, with simple ones such as physics to xenolinguistics, rapid calculation, robopsychology, and of course taxation, baby. After that, you'll get some pretty basic skill points. Exactly 11 plus 1d4 times your intelligence score, of course, increasing anything you want and then adding in skill adders, which are on a 1d6 chart judged by your intelligence, adding between 1 to 4 on average, which you will then assign to a skill, then roll a 1d12 to determine the number of skill points added on top of it. Got that? Don't forget your career pay and everything else, actually, due to the game's rather extensive explanation of furry NATO. As for the races, I'll do a really quick summary. Dog people, budget Falcor tar people, actual fucking bears, the process of evolution, the species, non-anime cat girls, just humans, squirrels, foxy telepaths that deserve the fucking cross, robots, FTL creature weasel monsters, lions as owned by another person, and you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say space lions, and big lizard. All of them do have their own stats, and all of them do have their own write-up and planetary gravity, which is going to affect their build. Other Sons is a unique game from a different time and place, one where people were just trying to figure out what the hell they were doing. Is it good? No. Why isn't it very good though? Simply put, it's trying to do a whole lot of stuff that bogs down what it's trying to actually do, forcing you to calculate a dozen little modifiers every time anything wants to go on, not to mention the raw amount of super autism going on into combat, telekinetics, and of course the setting. An interesting game from an old time, a very, very odd time. My name is Notepad, and this was Other Sons. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Many thanks to the Stellar Autarch for funding my deep space expeditions to bring about about a golden era of mankind. Godspeed and good luck.
So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us unless we get you first.